Welcome back to Diabetes Kitchen, and today we're going to be doing a Bolognese sauce. And the Bolognese sauce can be used for Bolognese, of course, but it can also be used in lots of different family recipes, so things like lasagna or tacos. And let's get started. So today's recipe is going to be using pork mince, but to get started I need to chop up all the veggies. Now today what I've got is some eggplant, which you may not have used before, so we've got that. We've also got a zucchini, we've got some carrot, we've got onion, garlic, we've also got a capsicum out the garden. I'm going to be also using French lentils. Now I would usually use red lentils, but I don't have any, so these little French lentils are also a really good choice. I like them because of the colour. They're beautiful purpley colour, and they'll cook in the time it takes for the mince sauce to come together. I'll see what else we're going to add, but there'll be some salt and pepper, some tin tomato of course, maybe some wine. Let's get started. So I'm going to start by chopping up the eggplant, because we're going to get that frying off before we do anything else. I'm just going to take the ends off here and then slice it into some thick steaks, and then slice these up into some small pieces. Now if your kids do not like vegetables they can see, then another method you could use here rather than chopping is you could grate it, and grated vegetables are a great way of getting extra vitamins, minerals and fibre into the kids' diet without them knowing about it and without kicking up a fuss. We'll get some oil on here in the pan. Now eggplant uses quite a lot of oil, it soaks it up a bit like a sponge, so don't be afraid of putting the oil in. I've got that on high there. You want it quite hot. So we'll just wait for that oil to heat up, and then I'll put the eggplant into the pan. Alright, the oil in the pan should be hot enough now. So and this is probably going to take 5-6 minutes, something like that. I'll give them a stir a few times just to get them nice and brown. Nothing worse than raw eggplant in a dish, so give them enough time to really brown. The other things we're going to put in with the onion are some carrot. Now I like to cut the carrot quite fine. I like the taste of the carrot, but I don't necessarily want big chunks in there, so we'll slice it up into nice thin battens there. You could also once again grate this if your knife skills aren't that good, or you don't have a sharp knife, or you don't feel confident. Stick it on the box grater and grate it up. We'll come back over here. You can see that eggplant has soaked up all the oil now. Next we're going to go in with the zucchini and use the same method that I used with the eggplant. Cut it into some nice battens. Keep it flat so you don't cut yourself. Oh, that's slippery. Now once again you can cut this smaller if you want to hide it, or grate it on the box grater. And next is our beautiful capsicum out of the garden. What a winner. That is going to be beautiful and sweet. Get most of the seeds out, but really, if you leave it a few minutes, it doesn't matter. Give it a tap. Just going to check that eggplant again. Oh, starting to stick there, so a little bit of a sauce around. You can see it's starting to get that nice brown colour on there. Still needs a couple more minutes. Flick those bits back in that I've managed to put everywhere. Ow! Okay, we'll do the garlic. Now, we love garlic and I grow it, so we've got plenty of it. I'm going to put 4 cloves in. These are quite big sized cloves. If you don't like as much, you take a couple out, just do 2. We'll leave it all together if you need to. The way that I like to get the skin off the garlic cloves is by cutting the knobbly end off. See that end? Take that off. And then give it a squash with your knife. And then the skin just peels right off. Now once again, you could put this through a garlic press if you wanted to, but I don't mind about giving it a quick chop up. I can smell that eggplant is now burning, so let's go back over here. I reckon that's good enough, so what I'm going to do is take that out. Pour some more oil in. And we'll go in with the carrot and onion. So we'll add the garlic in there and give it a quick stir around. Don't want the garlic to burn, so you need to be quick at this stage. And these are all our beautiful red capsicum and zucchini. Now we're going to cook that down, and that might take another 5 minutes or so, I think. At this stage I'm also going to season with a bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to put a little sprinkle of that in. And I'm also going to add our French lentils, and I'm going to add a big handful. Might even add a bit more, I think. Handful and a half. At this stage, we can add in the pork mince. So what I've got here is 500 grams of free-range pork mince, and I'm going to add that in. Remember to take the paper off. mince, or a combination of pork and beef is nice. Just letting this brown now. You can see I've added the pork mince, and this will take about 5 minutes. I'm going to go and pick some herbs and I'll be back. So we'll just get the big sticks off this thyme, and the same for the oregano. You can see I've actually pulled out the roots there, and got the sage and the parsley. Now you could use any kind of herbs that you've got in your garden or whatever you've got in the fridge. This is a classic Italian sort of combo, but you could also use dried herbs too if you've only got dried oregano, for example, or pizza mix, something like that. So we've added the herbs. Can give that a stir through. And all that mince has browned now, so I'm going to add the eggplant back in. Yum, that's looking so good. Now if I had mushrooms, I would have also added some mushrooms in with the zucchini and the capsicum, but I don't have any. So now it's time to add the liquid. We've just gone for diced on this one and whole tomatoes on this one, so these ones will need a bit of a chop up. And get the skin out because no one wants to eat tomato skins. And I like to do it in the can because it just is a bit easier. They're contained. So I've added the herbs, and now we've added that eggplant back in. The mince is browned, so I'm going to now add our tomatoes. So these are 400 gram tins, and I'm going to add 2 of those, or you could also use one of the large tins. Give that a stir around. And you can hear it's changed from that frying sound now to a stewing sound. At this stage I'm also going to add some tomato paste, just to give it an extra tomatoey flavour. Now I'm just going to add some tomato paste, and I like to add maybe a tablespoon, and we'll say 2 tablespoons there. Give that a mix in. Now a bit of extra salt and pepper here. And last but not least, I think I might add a dash of wine because it's a little bit dry here. We've got a lot of sauce. And this is a white wine because that's what I've got open, but you could also use a red wine. Maybe half a cup there. And all that alcohol will cook off, so you don't need to worry about the kids. So we've added the mince, and we've added a little bit of wine, some tomato paste and 2 tins of tomato, and it is looking like Bolognese sauce there. So I'm going to put a lid on now and cook this for about 15 minutes just to let the all the veggies cook down a little bit more. You could even just do 5 or 10 minutes if you're in a rush on a weeknight, and then we will serve. So I'm just going to put the lid on, and we'll give that maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and we're going to turn it down now, down almost as low as it'll go. And if you were going to have this with pasta now, use the time to put it on. So to turn this from an Italian base sauce, which is a Bolognese, to a Mexican base, you could add a couple of teaspoons of taco seasoning. This is one that I've made myself. It doesn't have salt in it, so it's the herbs and spices that go into a taco mix, and you can just Google that and find the recipe. And I'd also add a tin of the black beans. I like these the best. I think they've got the nicest texture. So to use these, you just open the can and rinse it under the cold water tap, just to get the starchy water off, and then you can add it. So maybe 2 teaspoons of taco seasoning and a can of black beans, and that is a Mexican fiesta right there. I'm going to add the pasta. And that tells me it's going to take 6 minutes. It's great because I've got to go get the kids. Okay, so you can see I've served up here, and around a quarter of the plate is the pasta, which is what we're aiming for, no more than that. Around a quarter of the plate I've added some salad, but if you didn't want salad, you could also, when you're cooking the pasta, chuck these into the pasta water maybe 2 minutes before it's ready. And you could also have some green beans on that section there. And then we've got around half the plate is the meat and vegetable sauce that we've made. So the proportions are about right, and this is how you need to be serving up your meals. This is it. So hopefully that's been helpful. Let me know if you've got any comments or questions, and we'll see you next time.